Peace, peace, peace. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm sorry, y'all. I was a little bit distracted. Told y'all I live in a kind of wild area. But anyway, yeah, I was thinking about back in the days when I was a Marine, an active Marine. I still consider myself a Marine, just an inactive Marine. But I went into the Marine Corps when I was 16. I actually altered my birth certificate. See, back then, birth certificates were written. I don't know if a lot of y'all know that. They weren't always digital, all that stuff. So I altered my birth certificate because I graduated from high school early. Well, I could tell y'all that real quick. From the 5th grade to the 10th grade, I went to summer school. And I gotta tell you, I was very smart. I just made dumb decisions and I didn't pay attention. I thought I was going to summer school making up classes to be able to pass. No, my mother actually had me going to summer school taking advanced classes. So by the time I got to my junior year in high school, I only needed 2 classes to graduate. But you couldn't take 2 Englishes the same year. So I literally went to school in my junior year. I took like an elective or something, I think, and then 1 other class. My senior year, I was like in a work-study program. And I started working at Wendy's. That was like my very first job. But anyway, so I graduated early. And, you know, even though I was literally on drugs at this time, as crazy as it seems, I was still going to school. But luckily, I only had 1 day. But unfortunately, because I was on drugs, I was still skipping school on days when I only had 1 class. And start messing up at work and all that stuff. So I was at school one day and some recruiters from the Marine Corps, actually a guy, one of the recruiters was a guy I knew. He was older than us, but we knew him growing up. And what I heard convinced me. And so I altered my birth certificate and I enlisted and I went in. Unfortunately, I was going overseas. I did 2 years. I was filling out paperwork to go overseas, Okinawa, Japan, and I accidentally wrote my right birth date. And Naval Intelligence jumped all over it. Showed me how detailed and precise our intelligence is here in this country. And it's even better than that because this was like in the 80s. But anyway, but I say that to say this. When I was in boot camp, man, I did things that I never knew I was capable of doing. I performed tasks and I performed well at things that I didn't even know I was capable of doing. But I had to be put into those extreme conditions because I'm going to tell you, Marine Corps boot camp ain't no joke. It ain't no joke at all. And so it's like I learned a lot about myself, and I learned later. Really didn't dawn on me at that time. I was still a young knucklehead. But I learned, after that we have to sometimes be put into extreme circumstances in order for our best to come out. A lot of times we're put in circumstances, or we put ourselves in situations and circumstances that bring out our worst. And we got to recognize that, and we got to get out of that stuff. And we can't be afraid of adversity. We can't be afraid of challenges and stuff like that, because I'm going to tell you 9 times out of 10, if you just persevere, if you soldier through, you're going to discover some new things about yourself that are going to benefit you in the long run. I don't know if y'all remember Karate Kid, the original Karate Kid, the one with Mr. Miyagi. Peace, Mr. Miyagi. But anyway, when Daniel went to get trained to fight, and Mr. Miyagi was like, yeah, okay, I got you, but go ahead and paint that fence. All right, clean up around here. I'm going to train you, man. Just go ahead and do what I tell you to do. Well, he didn't realize that those tedious tasks were preparing him for the actual training. Those tedious tasks made the training easier because he had already started to develop a natural ability to do certain stuff, natural movements to do certain things, and it made his training easier. So my point is, this is inspiration, y'all. I love inspirational movies. That's why I mentioned that. If you haven't ever seen it, you should go check it out. But the thing is, like I said, we gotta understand and we gotta look forward. Sometimes we gotta, our faith has to encourage us to look forward. Our faith has to encourage us to fast forward. We can't get caught up in the thing or the situation that we're in. We can't, because that's the goal. The goal is for evil. Evil wants to destroy you. So the goal is for you to just get so caught up and cloudy and you just don't know which way to go and disoriented. No, you gotta stay focused. You gotta stay focused. And that's one great thing that I learned as a soldier. You gotta stay poised, even if you're getting shot at. And I learned that from the streets too, but you know, we can go there. You got to stay poised. A quarterback in football, he got to stay poised. He got a whole bunch of big dudes coming wanting to crush him. He got to stay poised in order to daggone effectively operate that play. So we got to learn how to stay poised. We got to remember our faith. We got to stay poised, and we got to look for the lessons in everything. We got to look, instead of looking at how this thing is hurting me or how it's beating me down, look at what I could gain out of it. It's just like the old video games. I grew up, like I said, in a very abusive household. I wasn't really allowed to play. I was teased if I played with toys and stuff like that. So I really never got into like all these games and stuff like that. But I've watched, you know, my friends and stuff, if we was at the arcade, I watched them play. So it ain't like I'm oblivious, but, and my son has, you know, I've given him games since he's been little. I think they got like every game system there is. But anyway, during these games, there are things like if you're doing this one level or this one mission or whatever it is, there are certain things that you pick up on this level that you don't need now, but you utilize it on the next level. And if you miss it, by the time when you get to the next level and you need it, you're probably not going to make it through that next level, because you're going to have to end up going back to go get that thing. That's why we go through repeated patterns in life. That's why we go through cycles, because we're not learning and we're not picking up the lesson. We're not picking up that valuable tool bag or what is it called? The first aid kit or whatever, or more ammunition, or whatever. We're not picking these things up when we have an opportunity to. So when we get to the next level, we have to get knocked back a little bit, and we don't understand why, or we don't understand why we keep going through the same level, and every time we get to the next level or get close to it, we get knocked off. It's because we're not paying attention. We gotta persevere. We gotta start having a different perspective on things, and we gotta start looking at the lessons and things. Stop looking at the pain. Start looking at the game. Dang, I just now made that up. It just came to my head. That's what's up. Thank you, Lord. Stop looking at the pain. Look at the gain. I think that's the name of that when I put this on YouTube. Anyway, y'all, I got to go. Y'all be peace and have a great rest of your day. Peace.